As a reward for successfully completing his investigation, S.T.A.L.K.E.R was offered a promotion to colonel and the position of mission coordinator. He declined the opportunity to work at the HQ and submitted a personal request to be sent to the zone as the USS Permanent Observer. The information about the development of psi devices obtained by S.T.A.L.K.E.R alerted USS commanders. All the information gathered on X-designated laboratories was removed from military archives and filed as top secret. All personnel working in the zone were ordered to prevent the disclosure of information about the laboratories at any cost. Several experimental samples were made on the basis of technical documents for Item 62. Following a set of test trials, it was decided not to go ahead with large-scale deployment of the weapon due to the high cost of ammunition. Nonetheless, it would be reasonable to assume that further development of the Gauss rifle is ongoing. Skadovsk became home to any and all who could reach it. Fierce stalker resistance did not stop the bandits from making regular and ultimately unsuccessful attempts to establish their so-called order on the ship. Despite this ongoing struggle, the Skadovsk carried on its unique brand of life. Following the destruction of the bloodsucker lair, it's unlikely that anything could significantly change the state of affairs on the Skadovsk. The old ship became a temporary center of stability in the ever-changing world that is the Zone. A fragile balance was reached between freedom and duty squads at Yanov Station. Tired of the endless struggle, fighters of both factions started leaving their squads and joining the Free Stalkers. Professors Herman and Ozersky were forced to cut short their scientific research in the zone due to a lack of data. On returning to the outside world, the two scientists proceeded to engage in unrelated work. Gary's stories about the Army's fate scared stalkers away from Prypiat. The few who dared to venture into the city ran into inexplicable phenomena, which added further dark strokes to an already gloomy picture of the dead city. Organized mercenary squads continue to be active in the zone. Their interest in the secret laboratories is becoming increasingly difficult for USS operatives to ignore. Attempts to establish the identity of the client who hired the mercenaries proved unsuccessful. The area around Yanov Station gained a reputation for being one of the most dangerous places in the zone. Fewer and fewer stalkers make it back from raids, many dying at the hands of mutants within view of the camp. One of those missing is Trapper, who set out to track down a chimera on what appears to have been his last hunt. Rumors of Zulu's fate reached the leader of duty, General Voronin. Counter to most expectations, Voronin decided to posthumously award Zulu with the Silver Shield, duty's highest decoration. Stalkers at Yanov Station still think of Vano now and again, recording his lightheartedness and skills. While some aspects of his life are usually up for debate, one thing is clear. With his luck, looking for a road to Prypiat was a big mistake. Few noticed Strider's disappearance. His desire to work out a way of helping people who fall under the monolith's spell followed him to his grave. The list of casualties suffered in the course of Operation Fairway was amended with yet another name. Senior Lieutenant O.N. Sokolov died in the line of duty. A group of stalkers was forced to seek shelter on Noah's old barge during a particularly powerful emission. When the barge was attacked by a horde of snorks afterwards, stalkers were forced to concede that the barge was as good a defense against mutants as anything they'd seen. Even more astonishing was a litter of pseudo-dog puppies that Noah himself led into battle against the snorks. Having overcome his alcoholism, Cardin left the Skadovsk. Stalkers said he went to look for his missing friends. Several days later, he returned, suffering from wounds and radiation poisoning. As soon as his wounds healed, he left the zone for the second and final time. S.T.A.L.K.E.R passed on the information he obtained on his trip to the Chernobyl NPP to the USS commanders. This prompted the government to create a scientific institute for research of the Chernobyl anomalous area. S.T.A.L.K.E.R took up the position of chief scientific consultant to the institute. When Colonel Kowalski, commander of the Stingray Group, returned from the zone, he was forced to explain the reasons for the failure of Operation Fairway. Following a dragged-out investigation and the brass's failed attempt to make him the fall guy, the colonel was finally given an honorable discharge.
Взрывая мгновенье через сотни лет, мы растаем в пыли своих надежд, оставляя поколениям горький след. И в памяти лица близких нам людей, праздник красных флагов, звонкий смех детей. Все исчезло, остались слезы среди камней. Растворяя осколки грез, мы вспомним друга былом. Тень ошибки из детских слез, с ней живем. Время жить, время умирать, не время нам о судьбе другой мечтать, не вернуть былого вновь. Прости меня, мой дом родной. А жизнь на экране повторяет бед, но реальность ранит хуже всяких бед. Забываем о призвании свысока. Мертвой листвою